All right, so this is the hottest topic of the day. This kid, Muhammad Islam, this teenager who I call the teen wolf of Wall Street, because in a few articles, New York Post, New York Magazine, Daily Mail, The Mirror, he claimed to have made $72 million. dollars. And I just did not think that that was possible. For me, this is a little personal because I did take a few thousand, turn into a few million. You can look at the top of my website. My top student, Tim Bertani, has turned 1,500 into 2.1 million. It's actually 2.2 million now. We have to update it. He just keeps going. He's done that in 4 years. I made my millions initially within 4 years. But this guy, Muhammad, claimed to make 72 million. And I'm looking through my emails. I'm like, I know this name. And guess what? He applied for my trading challenge a little over 2 years ago, and he said he had just $1,000 to his name. He wasn't doing very well in life. He wanted to make his family proud. He wanted to be a great trader. And, he just wasn't ready for my trading challenge. My trading challenge is for dedicated students, people who are really can educate themselves and really ready to change their lives. But to do that, you can't be worrying about rent money or money for food because that's going to influence your trading. That's going to influence, the way that you learn because you don't even have time to learn. You have to pay next month's rent. So he wasn't ready for the trading challenge. We did not work with him. And now I'm looking, he says a little over 2 years later, somehow he's turned 1,000 into 72 million. And I, looked through the emails and I saw some of the questions he was asking, and he's still looking for the right broker. These are not questions you ask when you made 72 million. I've never made 72 million, so I'm not a quote, total expert on this, but I just did not see this happening. The article was very kind of crazy about how they're buying caviar and fresh squeezed apple juice, and it wasn't, very detailed. The kid did not seem to be real. And so I called him out in this blog post, and I said, you know what, Mohammed, if you're real, then put up. Show your account statements. The New York Magazine reporter lady, who's probably going to get fired, said that she saw statements with 8 figures. And, when I posted this, I was one of the first to call him out on his BS just because I know trading and I know what's really, possible. Yes, it is possible to turn a few thousand into a few million in a few years, but it's not really possible to turn 1,000 into 72 million in a few years. And he's trading small cap stocks apparently. So I was just very dubious, and CNBC was going to have Muhammad and his investing partner on today. And I was like, this ought to be good. I got to hear this. And when they were in the green room, doing the pre-interview questions, apparently they backed out and they came clean and they said, it's actually not $72 million. We don't know where the reporter got that figure. And then the reporter is going on Twitter and she's like, I saw the statement. So I don't know what's going on. It looks like a pump and dump, okay? They pumped this kid up, and then the dump happened. And it was all within a day. I mean, this is the #1 trending article on Facebook. You can see here 831 Facebook likes. Look, I'm going to refresh this. I'm probably going to be closing in on 900 Facebook likes. 833, okay. So in 3 minutes, I've gotten 2 more Facebook likes. By the time this video will be over, I'll be at 1,000. Thank you guys for sharing this because I want to call out people like this. I know he's just a kid and, is it criminal? I don't know. I feel bad for him, okay? His email, he seems very nice. He seemed very, hungry for success. But to let a publication, really publish this kind of number and then to be on your way to CNBC. I mean, this isn't like he just said, CNBC is asking for him to be on. And he's like, no, it's not right. He went to the studio and, I don't know what they said in that green room, but he changed his mind about going on TV. And I think it's probably the face-to-face where they're like, listen, Muhammad, this is serious. Have you made 72 million? And I don't think he could say it face-to-face. But leading up to that, for a teenager, to be #1 trending on all these platforms and to be asked to be on CNBC. I remember my first time on CNBC. I had already made an actual $1 million, but I was still very nervous. That was my dream. I grew up watching this channel. And I can just imagine what Muhammad felt when he was going there. Unfortunately, Muhammad, we don't know how much money he's actually made. He's deleted his Twitter and Instagram. He posted a few pictures, which didn't even make sense because he's still a minor and he's posting pictures of him drinking at a club. the whole story didn't make sense. But if you really try and get into it, leave it to the investigative reporters. That's what they like to do. For me, this is just another pump and dump, and I'm glad I was one of the first to call them out. Thank you to Vanity Fair for featuring my words. And for me, it's not that I'm like jealous or that I hate this kid. It's just it's a sad state of affairs in finance when somebody can get away with this and attract major media attention, and the media just doesn't understand how ridiculous this is, and the people who clicked it, they're getting all excited, they're getting all inspired, like, yeah, this is amazing, this is what's possible in the stock market. And then I'm there to like say, whoa, party's over, it's not real. And I can just imagine how turned off people are. And this is what I really hate. It's no different than when people invest in a penny stock pump and dump. They get all excited about the product and the potential and the story, and the stock starts rising, and they love it, and they start cheerleading. They tell their friends and family, and their friends and family start buying the pump and dump. And then it crashes all of a sudden out of the blue, and no one understands why. And the promoters blame the short sellers, even though there's so few shares to short, which is ridiculous. Even when I can't find shares to short and nobody can find shares to short, they still dump in the exact same manner. But everyone is left holding the bag, and that creates a really bad taste in their mouth. And a lot of people hate penny stocks, and they hate pump and dumps, and they say, oh, it's all manipulation, it's all unpredictable, I hate it, stay away from penny stocks. And that makes my job harder because I'm saying, hey, trade penny stocks. Yes, it's manipulated, but it's predictable. And it's the same exact case for this Muhammad guy. If you read this blog post, and I encourage you to, and please do share it, I was not saying 100% guaranteed this kid is a fraud. I'm saying that 99.9999% likelihood that there is something wrong here, that he is lying, that this is not the number. And I don't want people to be misled. When people come to me and they say, hey, I want to make $72 million like Muhammad. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. My top student has only made $2 million. Muhammad has not made $72 million. And it's just extra effort for me to, help you understand what's realistic. So I want you to go to my website, click testimonials. We still have to keep adding these. These are just emails that I get from people. And it's awesome. This guy sold DGLY at $15.99, bought yesterday at $12. So, he made $4 a share, like 30%. This guy, after getting it after 3 months, all the DVDs and keeping up with the lessons, up on the month and almost ready to trade bigger positions. So he's just starting, up 1,100 on the day. I'm freaking up after losing for a month. Those video lessons and DVDs are worth it. I'm up 800 shorting, made a quick 240, up 400, made 225, up 500. These are the kinds of profits. Here's a $900 profit, up 4,000. Here's a $3,200 profit. These are the kinds of profits that my students are having. And this aren't necessarily my top students. This is just normal. This is average. In the past 2 days, I'm up roughly 7,000. So I don't want you to think that you can make 72 million. And when, for someone like me to make 7,000 in 2 days, or if one of my students makes 7,000, I got an email the other day from a student who made $70,000 in a day. Every now and then you can make 10, 20, 50, 100, even 200,000 in a day, like my top student Tim Gertani has done a few times, and I've done. But most of the time, you just make a few hundred or a few thousand. This is the low-hanging fruit of the stock market. So I want you to go through and read all these testimonials. There's thousands of them, and we haven't even posted a small fraction of them. And it's not like we win every single time, but I want people to realize, what trading is all about, and really how you can make money, and like what you can't make money on. 72 million, that's just aiming too high with penny stocks. So don't even bring up Muhammad and his fake success. And also, it's not just about the money. This is a Business Insider article. I'm glad that they posted this the other day. They finally got some of my quotes right, and I got through the meaning of what I'm talking about, where multimillionaire trader Tim Sykes says happiess isn't about the money. And they show, Tim Sykes likes being rich. They show a picture of me and my girlfriend in Positano. But this is really what it comes down to. For me, the money shows that business is doing well, that I have a good model. Because I teach how to trade penny stocks, the more millions I make, the more people I'm teaching. And this is such a huge comment right here. The money is a sign that I'm doing something right. The money is a consequence, a byproduct. If I was running a nonprofit and my foundation was doing well, I'd be just as happy because I'm achieving my goals. A lot of people think that getting rich is all about buying possessions and that's going to make you happier. Possessions don't. It's about the journey and the path to making millions. And I really got to give this reporter props for accurately quoting me and really understanding the gist of what I'm saying. Because obviously, I made 7,000 in 2 days. I talk about these students making 500, 1,000, 2,000 here and there. But it's really about the knowledge and the transparency. These are two big things that I believe in. Some people think like I make up testimonials. I don't make up any testimonials. These are people who email me. They're thankful. They're grateful. If you came to my Vegas conference, some people are breaking down in tears when they meet me. And I'm not trying to be egotistical. Like I love that. I want to help you. I want to help you learn. The money is a byproduct. If you make 500, if you make 1,000, 5,000 here or there, if you're like one of my top trading challenge students and you make $1 million or $2 million, that's awesome. But more important than the money, I want you to learn these lessons. Don't lie. Don't be like Muhammad. Don't put yourself in that sketchy situation just for attention. He was trying to raise a hedge fund. Like, you have all sorts of legal and ethical questions when you lie about how much money you make. Be transparent. Okay, that's what Profitly is all about. You can see every single one of my trades. You can see all the trades of people like Tim Grittani, Michael Good, Azam John, Mark Crook, Ivan, who's one of my trading challenge students. He just passed $100,000. Being transparent is not about bragging. It's about getting you on the right track and creating a public diary. This is my best trading year ever. I'm up nearly $1 million, not because I'm taking much bigger positions. On the contrary, I'm taking smaller positions. But I've really minimized my big losses. I'm making 7,000 here, 5,000. I've had a few $70,000 days, profit days this year, which is cool. But the reason why I'm so much more profitable this year versus any other year is I've really minimized risk and I cut losses quickly. I've really stuck to that rule. As I get more and more students, I don't want to look like a jackass. I don't want you guys learning the wrong rules. So I cut losses whenever I'm in doubt. I was long IFAN today on the breakout, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is going to keep breaking out. It's a pump. I don't want to risk it overnight. Cut. And I lost $100. And yet I still made nearly 2,000 on the day from my other positions. So overall, I'm protecting my gains, but more importantly, I'm teaching you the right way to trade. Okay? That's what my whole business is all about. The money, these testimonials, this is nice. Okay? This is great. Look, eternally grateful to Tim Sykes for the mantra, cut losses quickly and essential in growing a small account exponentially. And that's true, But more than just the money, it's the transparency. Don't be like, Leo, who played Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street, and Muhammad, who is like the teenage Wolf of Wall Street. Don't be these shady guys, okay? You don't need to lie about the money that you make or how much you have. It doesn't determine what kind of person you are or your success or your value in this world. Yes, we live in a materialistic world. Yes, I do flash off, Lamborghinis and trips and mansions and Rolexes and stuff like that, but that's just to inspire you to really study. The cool thing is all my top students, once you make 6 figures or 7 figures, you don't really care about all that shit. But in the beginning, you need that visual symbol. Look at my freaking $250,000 Lamborghini and get inspired. In whatever car you're driving, be like, you know what? I deserve a better life. Use that image to really study hard and get there. And I could buy, 100 Lambos if I really wanted to. But what point would that be? What's the purpose? For me, no, it doesn't matter anymore. I like the Lambo. I think it's funny. I get nauseous when I drive too fast. Everyone's staring. And, it does inspire people. People come up to me on the street. They say, hey, I love your DVDs and your car. And that's cool because I want to inspire you. And, I'm not saying that I hate attention. I'm a confident guy. I'm a little narcissistic. I can admit it. It's fine. But I'm transparent with the money that I make. And I'm transparent with why I'm doing this and all the rules that I want to teach you and just kind of just put inside of your brain. So long story short, Muhammad, shame on you. I don't care how it went down. You should never have let this story, get this big and even go on the way to CNBC and bitch out at the last second. Jordan Belfort, shame on you, but you're going to hell. We already know that. Everybody else, make as much money as you can, but study and be transparent and be ethical. That's tonight's lesson. Thank you.